Well, so we've certainly had a pretty significant weakening of the Chinese currency over the last couple of months. But the ironic bit is that they've kind of repegged it here in the last 6 weeks. So while we've had that escalating rhetoric around the trade itself, the currency has actually stabilized. I think actually one of the reasons why the market impact here of the announcement has not been bigger is that the currency is not moving. We're often seeing that there's this correlation when the currency is really in motion. That's when the equity market gets nervous. And one of the reasons I think why the equity market is relaxing is that in the short term, they're essentially kind of pegging the currency.
And Jens, to that point, I mean, the dollar index is a bit higher today, but in general, we haven't seen the type of moves that we've seen, I guess, in more recent months around the dollar strengthening on these trade headlines. In terms of where it goes from here, what do you think?
Yeah, so I think that it's absolutely key to watch. How are they going to essentially manipulate the currency in coming weeks? They have essentially fixed it in the last few weeks. Are they going to respond to this further escalation in a way where the currency breaks weaker? So there's a very key point that is 7. If they let the currency weaken beyond 7, that could set in motion essentially a dollar move globally, and that would be very important both for the currency market, but also because that has indirect effects into the equity market in a negative direction.
How much does a weaker Chinese currency help the industries in China that are going to be hit with tariffs? Can it offset those tariffs 70%, 90%, 30%? What?
So we've seen sort of a 10% move in the currency over the last couple of months, but obviously depends on what the starting point you measure from is. If we're going to see 25% tariffs on the majority of Chinese goods, obviously it would be a very significant move in the currency that will be needed to offset it. So I think one thing that's going on in the background is that Chinese authorities in various ways are trying to provide subsidies to key industries so they don't suffer too much. That's something that's hard to see on the screens, but it's something that's happening in the background.